homeless boy saved Billionaire's life, but what she whispered next broke him. When Sarah Mitchell, self-made billionaire and Forbes-listed CEO, was beaten and left bleeding in an alley, only one person stopped to help, a starving child who'd been invisible to the world. But what she whispered to him changed both their lives forever. Sarah Mitchell owned the biggest marketing company in Chicago. Her face was on magazine covers. Her name was on buildings. She had more money than she could ever spend. But money couldn't buy her what she wanted most, her daughter's love. Emma, her 19-year-old daughter, had stopped talking to her 2 years ago. Their last fight still echoed in Sarah's mind. "You care more about your business than me, Mom. You always have. Don't call me anymore." Sarah threw herself into work even harder after that. 16-hour days, 7 days a week. She told herself she was fine. But late at night, alone in her huge apartment, she felt empty inside. Across town, 12-year-old David Chin lived a very different life. He had no apartment, no bed, no family. He slept in doorways and ate food from garbage cans. His parents had died in a car crash 3 years ago, and the foster system had failed him. Now he was on his own. David was small for his age, with dirt under his fingernails and holes in his shoes. Most people looked right through him like he wasn't there. He had learned to stay invisible. It was safer that way. It was a cold Tuesday in March when everything changed. Sarah was walking to her car after another late night at the office. She took a shortcut through an alley she'd never been down before. Big mistake. Well, what do we have here? Two men stepped out of the shadows. One was tall and skinny. The other was short and muscular. Both looked dangerous. "Nice watch, lady," the tall one said, grabbing Sarah's wrist. "Nice purse, too." Sarah's heart pounded. "Take whatever you want, just don't hurt me." Too late for the short one laughed, pulling out a knife. They pushed her against the brick wall. Sarah's head hit hard, and she felt blood running down her face. Her expensive heels broke as she fell to the ground. The men kicked her in the ribs over and over. "This is what rich people get," one of them snarled. Sarah curled up, trying to protect herself. She thought about Emma. Would her daughter ever know how sorry she was? Would anyone even care that she was gone? David had been sleeping behind a dumpster 3 blocks away when he heard the screams. Most kids would have run the other way. But something made David creep closer to see what was happening. He peeked around the corner and saw the 2 men hurting the woman. His hands shook. He was just a kid. What could he do against 2 grown men? But then the woman looked at him. For just a second, their eyes met. She didn't look at him like he was nothing. She looked at him like she was asking for help. David had never felt needed before. The men finished and walked away, laughing and counting the money from Sarah's purse. David waited until they were gone. Then he ran to the woman. She was breathing, but barely. Blood covered her face and clothes. Her eyes were closed. David pulled out an old phone he'd found in a dumpster. It barely worked, but it could still call 911. "Hello, I need help," he whispered into the phone. "There's a lady hurt real bad. She's bleeding. Please send someone." He gave them the address and stayed on the line like they asked. Sarah opened her eyes and saw a small boy kneeling next to her. Who are you?" she whispered. "I'm David. Help is coming, okay? You're gonna be fine." Sarah grabbed his hand. It was dirty and small, but it was warm. You stayed," she said, starting to cry. "Everyone else just walks away." David squeezed her hand. "I won't leave you." "I have a daughter," Sarah whispered. "But she hates me. I was a terrible mother. I worked all the time. I never told her I loved her enough." "Maybe it's not too late," David said softly. Sarah looked at this boy, this stranger who had risked his own safety to help her. "I wish," she said, her voice breaking, "I wish my daughter had a heart like yours." Those words hit David like lightning. Nobody had ever said anything like that to him. Nobody had ever wished for him before. A tear rolled down his cheek. "Really? Really?" Sarah said. "You're special, David. Don't let anyone tell you different." The ambulance came 5 minutes later. David disappeared before the paramedics could talk to him. That's what he always did, help when he could, then vanish. Sarah spent a week in the hospital. Her ribs were broken and she needed stitches on her head. But all she could think about was the boy who saved her. "Tell me about this David again," the police officer said. He was small, maybe 12 years old. Asian features, torn clothes. But officer, he was the bravest person I've ever met. The police checked security cameras, but none showed David's face clearly. They asked around the neighborhood, but nobody knew a homeless boy named David. But Sarah wouldn't give up. As soon as she left the hospital, she started searching. She went to every homeless shelter in Chicago. She visited soup kitchens and food banks. She walked through the same neighborhoods where David might be living. "Have you seen a boy named David?" she asked everyone she met. "About 12, very thin, lives on the streets." Most people shook their heads, but Sarah kept looking. 3 weeks later, Sarah found him. It was early evening, and she was walking through Lincoln Park. She saw a small figure sitting under a bridge, sharing a sandwich with a stray dog. "David?" The boy looked up, his eyes wide with surprise. He jumped to his feet, ready to run. "Wait," Sarah called. "Please don't go. It's me, Sarah. You saved my life." David stopped but kept his distance. "What do you want?" "I want to thank you, and I want to help you." "I don't need help." Sarah looked at his torn clothes, his thin face, the cardboard he'd been sitting on. "David, you're living under a bridge. You're 12 years old. You deserve better than this. Nobody cares about kids like me." "I do," Sarah said firmly. "You cared about me when I was a stranger bleeding in an alley. Now I care about you." It took time to earn David's trust. Sarah visited him every day, bringing food and blankets. She didn't try to force him to come with her. She just showed up, proving that she meant what she said. After 2 weeks, David finally agreed to let Sarah help him. She found him a safe place to live, a group home run by people who actually cared about kids. She made sure he had clean clothes, good food, and a chance to go back to school. "Why are you doing this?" David asked one day as they sat in a park. "Because you saved my life," Sarah said, "and because you deserve to have someone believe in you." "What about your daughter? Did you ever call her?" Sarah smiled sadly. "I tried. She hung up on me. But you know what? You taught me something important." "What?" "That it's never too late to do the right thing. Even if Emma never forgives me, I can still try to be better. I can help kids like you who need someone to care." Sarah used her money and connections to help the police find the men who attacked her. It took months, but they were finally caught. Both men went to prison for a long time. In court, the judge asked Sarah why she'd worked so hard to find them. "Because boys like David shouldn't have to live in a world where men like that walk free," she said. Meanwhile, David was changing too. With good food and a safe place to sleep, he grew taller and stronger. He went back to school and discovered he was really smart. His teacher said he had a gift for helping other kids who were struggling. 2 years later, David stood on a stage of social welfare in front of 200 people. He was 14 now, healthy and confident. He wore a nice shirt and pants that actually fit, but he still had the same kind heart. "My name is David Chen," he said into the microphone. 2 years ago, I was homeless. I slept in alleys and ate from garbage cans. Nobody saw me, nobody cared. The audience was silent, listening to every word. Then one night, I met a woman who changed my life. She was hurt and scared, but she saw me, really saw me. She made me feel like I mattered. David looked out at the crowd and found Sarah in the front row. She was crying, but she was smiling too. That woman is Sarah Mitchell. She saved my life by letting me save hers. She taught me that kindness is the most powerful thing in the world, and now I want to spend my life helping other kids who feel invisible. The crowd burst into applause. Sarah wiped her tears and clapped harder than anyone. After the speech, David hugged Sarah tight. "Thank you," he whispered, "for everything." "Thank you," Sarah whispered back, "for showing me what really matters." Just then, Sarah's phone buzzed. It was a text message from Emma. "Mom, I saw David's speech online. I'm proud of you. Can we talk?" Sarah showed David the message. They both started crying and laughing at the same time. Sometimes Sarah thought, the most broken people can heal each other. A homeless boy had saved a lonely woman, and in saving her, he'd saved himself too. Because that's what kindness does. It grows and spreads and changes everything it touches. This story reminds us that heroes come in all sizes, and that one act of kindness can change 2 lives forever. If you enjoyed this story, let us know your thoughts in the comment below and where you are watching from. Press that like button. Share this with your beloved ones. And if you are new to our channel, hit that subscribe button for more tales like this. Until then, stay kind, stay curious.